The NFL playoffs are finally here today. On Saturday, we've seen two matchups in the AFC Wildcard between the Chargers and the Texans, and the Ravens versus Steelers. And guys, these were not that good of games, but I got a couple of topics I want to talk about, not only of the game, but of the future of some of these teams, where they're going to go, what does this mean for some players, what it means for some teams. But guys, let's get straight into this video. First game we had is the Chargers versus the Texans. Obviously, the Texans won 32-12, and I'll be honest, I was watching some of this game. I did not watch the first quarter because I just got back from Arizona today, so I was in and out of the airport doing stuff, so I did not watch the first quarter, but the rest of the game, I did. C.J. Stroud went 22 of 33, 282 passing yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception, and his co-partner, Nico Collins, went absolutely nuts too. 7 receptions, 122 yards, and 1 touchdown. And guys, the Texans, it did not look good for the Texans the first half. I know that for sure. Like I said, I didn't watch the first quarter, but I did end up watching a little bit of the end of it and in the second quarter, but it seemed like they were picking up a lot of momentum in the second quarter, obviously scoring that touchdown and then getting that field goal to end off the half. But on the other side, Justin Herbert did not play that good of a game, and we will get into that here pretty soon. But Justin Herbert, 14 of 32, 242 passing yards, 1 TD, and 4 interceptions. But Ladd McConkey, on the other hand, the rookie coming out of Georgia, getting a rookie record receiving yards for the playoffs, right? 9 receptions, 197 yards, and a touchdown for Ladd McConkey. Like I said, setting the single game playoff record for a rookie in receiving yards. I mean, 197 is kind of insane. But guys, the game itself, like I said, Texans started off very bad in the first quarter, started picking it up like in the second quarter and halftime, like I said, and it just seemed like the Chargers were stuck in mud coming out of the second half, or coming out of the first half. But guys, Justin Herbert, the 4 interceptions he threw, the first one I did not see, but the other 3 were kind of bad. Or I should say 2. One of them was he kind of airmailed it over Ladd McConkey, and yes, Ladd McConkey did have his hands on it, and he will probably tell you himself, any receiver that has their hands on the ball should catch the ball. So maybe he should catch that one, but I think Justin Herbert kind of skied that one a little bit. The third one was pretty bad to Will Dissly on kind of like a drop-off pass. That one was bad because not on Justin Herbert, but on Will Dissly, because it went straight through his hands. And that one wasn't the pick six. It was the Ladd McConkey one that was the pick six. And then the fourth one was kind of just, fourth quarter, has 3 minutes after the Texans chewed up probably like 10 or 12 minutes of the fourth quarter, whatever it was. And he kind of just airmailed it, second pick for Derek Stingley. So that one I'm not going to give him too much slack on. But Justin Herbert did not play a very good game, especially that second half. It was a bad watch. But we have to have a serious conversation about Justin Herbert, guys. I don't know if he's a social media quarterback. A lot of people are starting to call quarterbacks social media quarterbacks, right? And is Justin Herbert one of them? I mean, I'm not going to put him in the same category as Joe Burrow. I'm not going to do that because Joe Burrow went to playoffs like Justin Herbert did, but he's also been to a Super Bowl, and Justin Herbert has not done that. And Joe Burrow was putting up an incredible season this year, although they did not make the playoffs. But I'm not going to put him in the same category as Justin Herbert, or as Joe Burrow, I'm sorry. But Justin Herbert is 0-2 in the playoffs, right? And not only was he leading this game, but he was leading in the other game in 2021, if I'm not mistaken, 2021 or whatever it was, against the Jaguars. We all remember that one. I mean, they were leading 27-7 at halftime, and they ended up losing 30-31. So I think there's got to be some real conversations about Justin Herbert now. Not only because, he kind of digressed a little bit. Yes, his interceptions are down. He only had 3 this season, which is, I think it's only with Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, which is good company to be in, right? But Justin Herbert in the playoffs has not showed up. He's 0-2. He was leading against the Jaguars 27-7, and he ended up losing that game 30-31. Now, you fast forward to today, and he's beating the Texans, 6-0, and he ends up losing 12-32. So I think Justin Herbert is a good quarterback, but there's going to be some scrutiny when you can't win and you can't do stuff in the playoffs, right? We've seen some of the best quarterbacks ever win in the playoffs, and that's kind of how you solidify yourself as a good quarterback, right? Joe Burrow has been to Super Bowl, right? Patrick Mahomes is one of the greatest quarterbacks ever, and he's not even halfway through his career yet, right? Aaron Rodgers, although, he hasn't had the team success, he has won a Super Bowl, plus the MVPs. So all the good quarterbacks have made noise in the playoffs. And as much as we want to sit up here and we're going to talk about Russell Wilson here pretty soon, but as much as we want to make fun of Russell Wilson's been there. He's been in the playoffs. He's been to a Super Bowl. He's won a Super Bowl. So I think Justin Herbert needs to step it up in the playoffs. Like I said, he's 0-2. But, guys, that was the first game. Chargers lose. Texans move on. And I think they play the Chiefs, if I'm not mistaken. And we already know how that's going to go. And the second game, Ravens and Steelers, AFC North. Rivalry, and in the playoffs, wild card, we wanted to see this, right? Although the Steelers, I think it was a little fluke of a season. I don't really think they're that good of a team. I knew the Ravens were going to come in and beat them. It was by 14 points. Lamar went, I wouldn't say crazy, which is insane because they had a very good game. Lamar was 16 of 21, 175 passing yards, 81 rushing yards, 2 TDs, and 0 interceptions. And that goes to say, Lamar not going crazy and them still winning by 2 touchdowns says a lot because Lamar played flawless and he only had 175 passing yards and 21 attempts, right? So, but on the other hand, Derrick Henry, 26 carries, 186 yards, guys. This is what we expected when they got Derrick Henry, right? We expected them to be very good, very explosive between Lamar and Derrick Henry, and we're seeing that in the playoffs. Although it's the first game, I understand that, but this is what we imagined when we heard the news the news of Derrick Henry going to obviously the Ravens, right? But guys, what are the Steelers going to do? Russell Wilson is on a 1-year deal, right? And obviously his contract's expiring. Then you have Justin Fields, who you traded for, and his contract is expiring, and we all know the most important position in this sport in NFL is the quarterback position. So what are the Steelers going to do, right? I don't know if you want to pay an old quarterback a lot of money, obviously in Russell Wilson, because although he's okay, I don't know if you want to give him 50, 55 million, whatever these guys are getting as in the quarterback market, which is insane. Do you want to pay Justin Fields, who yes played good the first 4 or 5 games for you this season, but are you comfortable with you paying him 55 to 60 million a year? So I think the Steelers are in a bad position at the as far as having a quarterback for next year, right? Because Russ is going to be gone. Justin Fields might be gone. Which one are you going to pay? Are you going to pay an old quarterback $50 million, or are you going to pay a quarterback that kind of hasn't proven himself in the league $50 million, right? But they have to figure it out because there's a lot of teams that need quarterbacks, whether it be the Jets, whether it be the Giants, who might get a quarterback in the draft this year. Even the Vikings, they still got J.J. McCarthy. I understand that. Sam Darnold might get paid. But the Raiders need a quarterback. There's a lot of teams that need quarterbacks, right? So if they don't pay one of these guys, if they don't pay Russ or Justin Fields, I think both of them could be gone because everyone knows the NFL, you need a quarterback to win. And if you're not going to pay them that money, another team will. So, and yes, it's the whole quarterback thing is all out of sort for Pittsburgh. But guys, I seen the facility with Emmanuel Acho and Shady McCoy and all those guys. They were talking about, is Mike Tomlin on the hot seat? And at first thought, I'm like, Mike Tomlin on the hot seat? He's had 18 seasons without a losing record for the Pittsburgh Steelers. For one team, he's had 18 seasons without a losing record. Then I started thinking about it. Is Mike Tomlin on the hot seat? And I started thinking about it more. 18 seasons without a losing season. Okay, that's good. But what has he done in the playoffs as of recently? And we all know that's basically the only thing that matters. The playoffs. What is your playoff record? And yes, I understand you want to be a winning team. You want to have a winning record, right, at the end of every season. But if you have a winning record and don't do anything in the playoffs, what does the winning record mean? It doesn't mean anything, right? So when I start looking at it, 2024, lost in the wild card round. 2023, lost in the wild card round. 2021, lost in the wild card round. 2020, lost in the wild card round. 2017, lost in a divisional round. Okay. 2016, lost in the AFC Championship game. Okay. 2015, lost in the divisional round. 2014, lost in a wild card. 2011, lost in a wild card. 2010, Lost the Super Bowl. Okay. You lost the Super Bowl. Okay. Then 2008 is when he won the Super Bowl. So his overall record in the playoffs is 8-11, right? In the past 4 years, he's lost in the wild card 4 straight times. And guys, it is a very cutthroat business in the NFL. We've seen guys get coach of the year and they get fired. We've seen it in the NBA. Players, they get coach of the year and they get fired. So I'm thinking to myself, is Mike Tomlin actually on the hot seat? And they lost today to their rivals, right? To the rivals of anybody else. They lost to the Baltimore Ravens, 28-14. And I'm starting to think to myself, I think Mike Tomlin is on the hot seat. And you guys might think I'm crazy to say that because he has 18 seasons without a losing record. I understand that, but if you don't do anything in the playoffs, the 18 seasons without a losing record doesn't mean anything. In the past 4 years that they've been in the playoffs, or the past 4 times they've been in the playoffs, Mike Tomlin has lost in the wild card round every single time. So I think he is on the hot seat, especially losing to the Ravens in the wild card round again, right? Losing to the rival, losing in the wild card round again, not doing really anything in the playoffs. I think he is on the hot seat. Let me know what you guys think. We obviously tomorrow we have Commanders, Buccaneers, then we have Broncos and Bills, and then we have Green Bay and Philly. And to give you guys the choices right now, might as well, right? I got the Bills. I think they're gonna whoop the Broncos. I'm sorry. I think the Bills are gonna whoop the Broncos. Then I got the Eagles. I think the Eagles are gonna do crazy things to the Packers. Pause on that. And then I got the Buccaneers. I think Baker Mayfield is gonna ball out against the Commanders. That's what it is. But guys, let me know what you guys think. Is Justin Herbert overrated? Is he a social media quarterback? Who should the Steelers pay? Whether it be Russell Wilson, whether it be Justin Fields, who should they pay? And is Mike Tomlin, the coach with 18 seasons without a losing record, is he on the hot seat? But you guys let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been your boy. Peace.